Dear soul, today, the angels approached with a different urgency. The energy around you changed, and they know there's something important that needs to be said right now. It's as if a decision is being made, a bond is being pulled between two hearts that have already recognized each other, but can't touch completely. This person who you feel so present in thoughts, emotions, and even in the small signs of everyday life. They chose you, and it's no longer a secret in the spiritual plane. It's a truth that the angels confirm with clarity. This love is real, it's mutual, and it's deep. However, there's a blockage, a presence that interferes, and this presence is not far away. It's close, much closer than you imagine. Someone with access to this person's trust, someone who, even without fully understanding, exerts an influence that weighs, that hinders, that causes confusion. The angels show that this influence is not always conscious, but it's powerful. It could be a friend, a relative, or even someone who feeds fears and insecurities with words disguised as advice. This person who chose you feels you, misses your gaze, the way your name brings peace, the lightness you emit even in the simplest moments. They feel your absence as one feels an emptiness that no distraction can fill. There's a living memory, like a constant echo within them. And yet, they hesitate. They struggle between the desire to approach and a feeling of something wrong that doesn't come from them, but from what they hear around, from the impressions planted by this figure so close that acts as a shadow between you two. Have you noticed this? Have you felt that something inexplicable is blocking this feeling from fully blooming? Have you noticed that even when everything seems aligned, there's a sudden silence, a distancing that doesn't match what you both feel for each other? It's not your imagination. This is really happening, and what I'm going to reveal next may change everything. The angels show that this third person is in constant observation. They feel how special you are, and perhaps unconsciously, they're afraid of losing space, of losing control, or even of seeing the transformation that this love could cause. They don't have full awareness of what they're doing, but their behaviors generate confusion, insecurity, and doubts in this person who chose you with their heart, but who is still surrounded by voices that are not theirs. It's important that you understand, love is there. It pulses, it clamors, it sustains itself even in silence, but it needs space to breathe, it needs courage to move beyond external influence, and that's why this message has reached you, not by chance, but because now is the right moment. The energy of love is vibrating stronger than ever, and the angels are working to remove the obstacles that still prevent this union. Before continuing the message, write this mantra in the comments. My energy is stronger than any interference. I am chosen by those who recognize me with their heart. Now, continuing the message, you were chosen because there's something in you that this person has never found in anyone else. It's not just about appearance or shared moments. It's something deeper, truer. It's as if your presence heals, your voice brings peace, and your way of loving awakens a dormant part within them. And that's exactly why there's resistance. Because the love you both share is so intense that it scares those who fear change, who fear losing control over this person. But the angels have a direct message for you. Do not bow to interference. Do not silence the love you feel. Because this love did not come to be hidden, nor to be manipulated by third parties. It was brought into your life as a gift, a soul choice. Even though it seems like everything's standing still, this person is in turmoil on the inside. Every time they try to follow advice that goes against their feelings, something within them hurts. And it's this pain that's growing to the point of becoming impossible to ignore. The angels show me a strong image, this person in front of a mirror, questioning themselves, trying to understand why, despite all the reasons they've heard to walk away. You remain in their thoughts, in the music, in the sense, in the memories. They try to move forward but can't. And it's because true love, when it's real, creates roots in the soul. And the love that you share is like that. Impossible to uproot even if you try. What the angels ask for now is clarity, that you strengthen your light, that you continue to vibrate love but also keep your intuition sharp. This person is preparing, even if they don't realize it yet, for a break with this influence that holds them back. It's a process, and the angels are working behind the scenes to make sure everything happens at the right time. But know this, your role in this moment is to keep your energy clean, your faith alive, and your love strong. This love is not lost. It's in motion. Silent, yes, but deep, real, and getting closer and closer to breaking through the barrier of fear. The angels want you to be ready, because what's coming may surprise you in a very positive way. Now that you've understood that this love is not only real, but was chosen on deep levels of the soul, the angels show me a new layer of this story, and it involves a silent battle being fought within this person's heart. It's as if, behind the calm gaze they display to the world, there's a storm of emotions, unmade decisions, suffocated desires and fears, fed by someone who shouldn't have so much power over them. This person, even trying to remain firm in the face of external influences, carries a corrosive doubt planted by someone who's too close, someone who hides behind the idea of protection, but who, in reality, is controlling the reins of someone else's emotion out of fear of losing space, authority, or control. This influence is not declared. It's subtle, wrapped in advice, in insinuations, in phrases like, "I just want what's best for you," but which, in practice, end up undermining what's most true within them. Every day that passes, this person feels more divided. There's a side that yearns for freedom, for authenticity, for living this feeling with you without fear. And there's another side that's been shaped by someone else's opinion, by the fear of disappointing, by the habit of pleasing those who are close. This duality is draining their strength. The angels show that their heart wants to run towards you, but the steps are still held back by the weight of those who are nearby and whisper doubts where there used to be certainty. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, "2. I yearn for the liberation of everything that prevents true love in my life." The angels are listening. This attitude has more power than you imagine. This person wakes up in the middle of the night with your name on their mind. They feel longing. They miss your presence. They feel that something is incomplete. But they don't fully understand why they can't go to you. What they don't realize, or perhaps they do realize but resist admitting, is that they're emotionally imprisoned by a loyalty that isn't fair, by a guilt that wasn't naturally born, but was instilled little by little. The angels show me that this feeling of guilt is one of the biggest chains that binds them. They feel that by choosing you, they may hurt someone who's always been close. However, what they still haven't understood is that genuine love shouldn't demand such deep sacrifices. Loving you isn't a betrayal, and it's a reunion of souls, and they're slowly realizing this. Every thought you have about her, every memory, every sign is helping to dissolve the fog of doubts that was placed around her. Dear soul, the angels are working to free this connection, but they also ask for your collaboration. Not in the sense of forcing anything, running after or trying to prove something, but in the sense of keeping your light on. You are the constant reminder of what is true. Your energy, when at peace, transmits clarity to her, even from a distance. It's as if your balance were a silent compass pointing to the right direction, amidst the confusion she's in. And here's something important. The angels also want to talk to you about worthiness. You're not just here waiting for this person to make a decision. You're also going through a process of inner strengthening. There's something within you that's learning to set boundaries, to realize that love needs to be free and light to bloom. And this discernment, this emotional maturity you're developing, will be essential for the next step. Perhaps you're wondering, why does this person listen to others so much? Why does she value someone else's opinion more than what she feels? With me, the answer lies in the old wounds she carries, wounds that have roots in deep insecurities, in past experiences that made her believe she needed others' approval to be accepted. But the angels show that this perception is changing. Gradually, she's growing tired of this weight, of this emotional dependence. She's starting to see that by following external advice, she's moving away from herself and from you. Dear soul, this process requires time and sensitivity, but there's a movement happening. Even if you don't see it, even if the silence insists on making it seem otherwise, she thinks about you, she feels your absence, and what most disturbs her heart is knowing that she could lose you by listening to someone who doesn't feel what she feels, who doesn't live what you two lived. This is causing an internal crisis, a restlessness that drives her to look more inside and less at others. The angels are very close now, enveloping you with a protective and loving light. They ask that if this message resonated with your heart, you express your gratitude with a thanks heaps. This gesture, besides supporting the continuity of these messages, helps to spread this energy of light to other people who are also facing blocks in their relationships. Your participation is a seed of healing for many. The angels are whispering more intensely at this moment. They want you to know that the energy around this connection is moving faster than ever. Something is about to be revealed. A turning point is approaching, and this person who chose you is feeling it. It's as if a force within her is beginning to push her towards a clarity that, until recently, she resisted accepting. The veils of confusion are fading, and her consciousness is awakening to something that can no longer be denied. What she feels for you cannot be ignored. The angels show that this person is starting to ask questions she never had the courage to ask. Questions that arise in the silence of the night, in moments of loneliness when the presence of external influences diminishes and only the truth within the chest remains. She begins to wonder if it's worth continuing to mold herself to the expectations of those around her. She wonders if she really needs to sacrifice the love for you to please someone who, deep down, doesn't understand her soul. These thoughts are becoming more constant, more uncomfortable, and at the same time more liberating. In the subtle planes, the angels are clearing the way. They're dispelling the energies that block, protecting your connection and strengthening this person so they can make decisions based on their essence, not external pressure. There's an awakening happening within her, something deep, something that makes her look at you with new eyes, not just with longing but with gratitude, with the desire to recover lost time, with a thirst for a fresh start. It's important that you understand. It's not easy for her to break away from those who influence her. The bond is strong. It could be an old friendship, a family tie, someone she's built emotional dependency bonds with. This person fears being seen as ungrateful, fears hurting someone who helped her in other times. But she's beginning to realize that living up to others' expectations is a silent form of self-abandonment. And this realization is the beginning of liberation. Before continuing the message, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, take advantage to subscribe. This helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Continuing the message. The connection between you two is deeper than it seems. It goes beyond affinities, beyond encounters, beyond memories. The angels show that there's a mission between you, a purpose that wasn't put there by chance. This connection wasn't just built in the now. It has roots in other existences, in soul pacts that ask to be fulfilled in this life. That's why everything seems so intense. That's why, even when you drift apart, something insists on keeping this flame alive. Because this bond has an important role in the spiritual growth of both of you. This person feels it, not in words but in sensations. She doesn't understand exactly what's happening, but she perceives that you represent something she's never experienced with anyone else, and it's this feeling that makes her resist, even in the face of contrary opinions. Even when everything around seems to say that it's better to follow another path, her heart responds with silence, with longing, with the weight of absence, because she knows, deep down, that no other place will bring her the peace she feels, near you. Dear soul, the angels show me something that needs to be said. You've been strong. Even amidst the weight, even amidst the silence, you've kept your light burning. And that has been essential. Your silent strength is being felt. You may not perceive it, but your vibration is reaching this person like a breeze that touches the face on the hardest days. She feels your presence, and that's healing the parts of her that were hurt by people who didn't know how to love truly. Now is the time to intensify your connection with the spiritual plane. The angels ask that you turn inward, that you nourish your faith, that you strengthen your trust. They say that a new opportunity is approaching, a chance for true reconnection, but it will come when this person has the courage to break away from those who prevent her from being free to love. And this break, even if painful, is getting closer. She's on the verge of making a choice, and this choice can change everything. The angels are around you now. They surround you with a golden light, soft and warm, like an invisible hug that whispers, trust. It's being prepared. Trust, even when it seems that nothing is happening. Trust, even when there's silence. Because silence oftentimes is the setting where the universe works with the most intensity. And now a special sign for you. The angels are sending you a special sign. The number of your luck for today is 7. Write in the comments, I receive the energy of the angels. My lucky number is 7 and I am blessed. I send love and protection to the person I like and love very much. If this message touched your heart, show your support with a thanks a lot and help spread this message of light to other people who need it. Today the angels want to touch a delicate part of your heart. They show you that for this love to find space to bloom, something essential needs to happen. The release of grudges, resentments, and unspoken words that still weigh on your emotional field. The energy of true love doesn't sustain where pain still dwells, and you, despite being that sensitive and strong soul, still carry within you some wounds that need to be embraced with compassion, and more than that, need to be transformed. The person who chose you, even if they are silent or distant, is also dealing with their own pains. Many of them aren't even originated from the both of you, but were absorbed over time due to old stories, confusing relationships, and people who carry a pattern of control and emotional sabotage. The angels show that there is someone very close to them who doesn't want to see them happy with you. Someone who is afraid of losing space, influence, or even the emotional control they exert. This person feeds on imbalance, and every time they see your connection gaining strength, they plant doubts, provoke interruptions, and intensify the feeling of insecurity. What this influence didn't expect is that you two share something rare and almost indestructible, a connection that goes beyond the visible. Even with pauses, obstacles, and moments of distance, the truth of this love insists on remaining alive. This force is felt in the subtlest details, in dreams, in thoughts that arise from nowhere, in songs that play at the most unlikely moments, in names that appear when you least expect them. The angels show that this is real. It's not a coincidence. They are signs, and it's these signs that have kept the connection alive even in the face of external resistance. But there is something that needs to be done now, with courage. You need to release the weight that is still stored in your heart, not for the other person, not as a gesture of submission, but as a gift you give to yourself. Forgiveness is the antidote to stagnation, and the angels insist on saying, you are, not forgiving to justify what hurt you, but to free yourself from what no longer serves you. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, that you would like to forgive. Visualize each one of them, send love and say, I forgive you and release you. May peace be with you. Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. This energetic liberation that you are about to do will open paths that were closed. The energy of guilt, grudge, and doubt accumulate like dark clouds in the vibrational field, preventing the light of love from flowing naturally. And you, by forgiving, by embracing your pains and transforming them, will be cleaning these channels. It's like opening the windows of a house to let the fresh air and the sun in. The angels need your collaboration. They are doing their part. Now, it's time for you to do yours. This person, who in many moments seemed confused, distant, or even unfair to you, is not against you. They are trying to find themselves amidst voices and energies that push them away from themselves. But the angels show me that there is a specific memory of yours that has been a beacon for them. Something you said or an attitude of yours that remained engraved in their heart and that now serves as an anchor. Every time they think of giving up on feeling, this memory returns. And that's what's making them resist being completely influenced. The heart of this person is awakening. And with this awakening, regret also comes for not having fought before, for having listened to those who only wished to see everything as it was. But the angels say that there is still time, that this love hasn't been lost, that what is to come can be even deeper than everything that has already been lived. But for this to happen, it's necessary that you are also whole, not waiting passively, but vibrating with love, freedom, and lightness. Dear soul, the angels want you to know that there is a greater force taking care of everything. And this force acts through your willingness to heal, to trust, and to continue believing, even without having all the answers right now. Faith is not the opposite of doubt. Faith is the act of walking even when the ground is not yet visible, and you are being guided with kindness, with precision, and with a purpose greater than you imagine. The emotional release you will make now is not just for this relationship. It will impact all areas of your life. It will bring more clarity about who you are, about what you deserve, about the kind of love you want to build. And when that person truly realizes that you no longer carry the weight of the past, that you are free, vibrating, ready, they will feel drawn to your energy as never before. The energy around the two of you is beginning to change. It's as if a veil is slowly dissolving, revealing what has always been there but was hidden by fears, influences, and emotional blocks. The angels clearly show that this person is beginning to see the hidden intentions of those around them. That influence, once subtle and disguised as care, is now beginning to reveal itself for what it really is, an attempt to manipulate, to keep control, to prevent her from experiencing authentic and transformative love. This perception did not come overnight. It was built silently, in moments of reflection, in the small discomforts that arise after certain conversations, in the contradictions that accumulate. The person who chose you, even with so many voices trying to convince her otherwise, feels that something is wrong with the way others treat the idea of the two of you. It's not just an opinion or advice that this influence offers, it's a subtle energy of sabotage, disguised as protection. And do you know what makes her suspicious? It's the way she feels after hearing these words. Instead of clarity comes confusion. Instead of peace, a slight but constant anxiety. Instead of strength, a feeling of weakness. The angels explain that the body and the heart always know when something is not aligned with the truth. And this person is learning to trust these signs. She still doesn't have all the answers, but she is becoming more and more aware that she needs to choose what makes her heart vibrate, not what pleases others. This inner change is happening silently, like a sprout that breaks the earth without fanfare. And you have an essential role in all this. Even from a distance, your energy is helping to drive this awakening. The way you behave, how you choose yourself, how you maintain your dignity even in the face of silence and delay. All of this is being felt. This stance is showing that person what true love is. The one that doesn't pressure, doesn't demand, but remains present, even in absence. The angels show me that this person keeps objects, memories, messages from you. She reviews everything, frequently, not because she is stuck in the past, but because these memories serve as beacons when the darkness around becomes thick. They help her remember who she is when she is with you, how your energy transforms her, calms her, awakens her. This is something that no one has managed to offer, and no matter how hard they try to convince her otherwise, nothing replaces the truth felt in the heart. You may still be wondering why she doesn't break away from this influence right away. The answer is complex. It involves old ties, emotional commitments, and even a sense of emotional debt that has been carefully nurtured by those who want to keep her under control. But the angels assure you, this is about to change. The process of liberation has already begun, and like everything that is deep, it does not happen abruptly. He starts slowly, in small choices, in silent decisions, in withdrawals that seem casual but are strategic. What the angels ask for now is conscious patience. Patience not as passive waiting but as wisdom, as active trust that what needs to happen is being guided by invisible hands. Every emotion this person feels when thinking of you is serving as a catalyst for the transformations that are coming. What seemed impossible some time ago begins to seem necessary, and what was doubt begins to turn into certainty. You may not see this with your eyes, but you will begin to perceive it in the signs, in vivid dreams, in intuitions that arise from nowhere, in thoughts that appear in the middle of the day, bringing peace and a feeling of imminent reunion. The angels say that when this starts to happen, it's because the moment of reconnection is approaching. Something very strong is coming, a real possibility of this person taking an attitude that will surprise even you. And when this happens, it won't be by impulse, nor by guilt, nor by need. It will be a conscious choice based on the recognition that what you both have is too rare to be set aside. The angels today show me an energy that intensifies like a silent wave, gently but firmly pushing this person towards what the heart has been shouting for a long time. What was once just discomfort has become unsustainable. The presence of this nearby influence, which acts as an invisible barrier between the two of you, is beginning to annoy at levels that can no longer be ignored. It's as if a curtain was being torn from the inside out, revealing how much this person has moved away from themselves, trying to please external expectations. This feeling of emotional imprisonment, of internal disconnection, has been growing day by day. And with it, the desire to find the freedom to genuinely love has also grown. You have been this constant reminder of what is real. You represent the opposite of what the nearby influence tries to impose: control, fear, doubt. While this influence brings confusion, you represent clarity. While it causes insecurity, you bring peace. And this contrast, increasingly evident, is helping this person to awaken to something greater than any social convention or old emotional obligation. The love between you is a seed that has resisted time, adverse winds, and even silence. Now, this seed begins to break the ground. It wants to grow, and for that it needs space. The angels show that this person is very close to making a decision. There is an internal impulse born with strength, the impulse to move away from those who limit them, the desire to approach those who understand them with a look. This impulse, which was once just a whisper, is now turning into urgency. She feels she needs to take a stand, that it's time to make it clear to those around her that her life can no longer be directed by rules that don't make sense to the heart. But what drives her the most is the memory of your presence, the way you looked at her, the way your words brought relief, the peace she felt just by being close. This memory has become a refuge, and also direction. The intervention of the angels is intensifying. They are creating opportunities, designing synchronicities, preparing the ground for this reunion to happen in the most authentic way possible. But they ask something very important of you now, that you strengthen your energy, not just waiting for her, but living fully. That you no longer postpone your happiness until something happens. That you choose to vibrate love, joy, worthiness, every day, even without knowing the immediate outcome of this story. This is not distancing. This is loving with wisdom. It's loving from a safe place within oneself. Because when she returns, and the angels show that this return is being drawn with great delicacy, she will find in you not someone who stayed, waiting, but someone who grew, who healed, who chose themselves and is ready for a mature and conscious love. Share this video with 2 loved ones who need this message of hope and faith. Let's together build a chain of love and mutual support. Leave a comment with a prayer for your guardian angel. There is a preparation happening, not only with her, but with you too. You are being prepared to receive something bigger, something lighter, deeper, truer. And for that it is necessary to clean what still remains of expectation, of hurt, of anxiety. The angels ask that you trust more in yourself, that you believe in the value that you carry, that you recognize the impact that your presence causes. You were a point of light in the moment when she was surrounded by shadows. You showed another way of living, feeling, loving. And even if her words didn't openly say that, her heart registered it. That is the truth that no one will be able to erase. Not time, not distance, not who tried to confuse her feelings. At this moment she may be silent, she may seem distant, but internally she is taking important steps. She may be closing cycles, distancing herself from those who always had dominion over her choices, revising values, facing her own fears. And all of this has been motivated by the energy that you both shared, a feeling that uninstalled old certainties and put her in front of a new possibility of being happy. Dear soul, the angels ask that you do not lose faith. What is being built now requires trust, it requires emotional maturity, and you have that. You have grown every day. Even in moments of pain, you have become even stronger, brighter, and your light is opening paths paths for love when it returns to find a safe, free and true place. By now you may have already felt that something has changed inside you, that even without a clear answer coming from her, a kind of silent certainty has begun to grow in your chest. And that is not by chance. The angels show that when two souls are truly connected, both undergo transformations at the same time, even if they are on different paths. The connection between you has caused an internal restructuring, in her and in you. At this moment, she finds herself facing a choice that can change the course of her own life. The influence that has kept her submissive, hesitant or divided for so long is beginning to lose strength. Not because someone has directly confronted this close person, but because consciousness is expanding. When someone wakes up to their own value and to the right to live love in its purest form, everything around begins to adjust. And that is what is happening now. The angels reveal that she has thought of you with a frequency that scares her, not as any memory, but as a living presence that accompanies every step, every decision, every moment of silence. There is a longing that has turned into recognition. It is no longer just the desire to relive something nice that they lived. It is the clarity that nothing, since then, has managed to fill the space that you occupy. Perhaps you don't know, but there are days when she wakes up and the first image that comes to mind is yours. There are nights when she looks at her phone, opens her social networks, and closes them right away because she still hasn't found the courage to get closer. And at the same time, there is a growing discomfort inside her, a restlessness of who knows that they are moving away from something that should have fought with more firmness. And that discomfort is reaching the point of becoming unbearable. The angels show that the attempts of external influence to keep her away from you are becoming increasingly weak. This influence is losing power because it was sustained for a long time by her emotional fragility. But now, this fragility is beginning to transform into strength. And when inner strength awakens, there's no argument, fear, or person that can stop someone from moving towards what they truly love. At this point of the journey, it's important that you understand that the reunion between you two won't be impulsive, nor surrounded by doubts. It will be firm. It will be clear. It will be based on conscious choices, but until then you also need to keep your energy aligned with this new cycle that's approaching. Waiting is not punishment. It's preparation. The angels are guiding each of her steps, but they're also taking care of you so that when this encounter happens, there will be no more imbalance between giving and receiving. You've done your part. You've chosen silence when it was easier to demand. You've offered light when you received shadows. And this didn't go unnoticed. The spiritual plan recognizes your dedication. And now, the time for reward begins to unfold. This person will not only return, they will want to build something new with solid foundations, with true presence, because they understood, and are understanding more every day, that you are the place where they feel peace, truth, and belonging. Dear soul, trust. Trust even in the silences. Trust in the pauses. Because what seems like absence sometimes is protection. There are moments when the universe removes the pieces from the board so that everything organizes in the right way. And in this interval, it only asks one thing, that you continue vibrating love for yourself and for everything you wish to live. Don't let doubt corrode what the heart already knows. And even if it takes a little longer, know that everything that is true finds its way back. This person is coming back to themselves. And coming back to themselves, they will find you. In the most beautiful, most conscious, and most truthful way that you two have ever lived. Now the angels ask me to speak directly to your heart. We've reached a delicate point, where everything that was felt, learned, and faced meets the possibility of a new beginning. It's in this space between the past and the future that the sacred, present resides, and it's exactly in this present that something new is being sown, not only in their life, but also within you. The angels show that the person who chose you, even having hesitated, silenced, or stepped back out of fear, never stopped feeling. They just weren't ready. There was a lot around them that made them believe that love needed approval, permission, external validation. But today they're beginning to see that the only place they need to find acceptance is within themselves. And it's exactly this discovery that is freeing the bonds that kept them tied to the influence of those around them. This someone close who tried to block the connection between you two now sees themselves losing space. Manipulation, doubt, and emotional games are being revealed. And it's not you who needs to prove anything or fight for space. The truth has its own time to emerge. And it's emerging. Their eyes are opening. And with this, the guilt that once paralyzed them is turning into an impulse for reparation. They want to redeem themselves, but not as someone who seeks desperate forgiveness. They want to find you again as someone who finally understood what they feel and has the courage to assume it. They want you to see them with the eyes of now, more conscious, more centered, more committed. What was once an intense but unstable feeling is now beginning to take root. And these roots are being established in the decision to no longer allow any interference in what the heart has already chosen. The angels reveal that you will be sought after, not with half words or vague excuses, but with truth, with attitude, with dedication. They know that it won't be easy to regain trust, but they also feel that it's worth every attempt, not just to resume something that was interrupted, but to build something new, stronger, more mature, more conscious. You will be surprised by a gesture. It may come in the form of a message, a request for conversation, or even an unexpected reunion. But what will be behind it will be more important than the way it happens. It will be the energy of truth coming to light, without masks, without excuses, without external influences. And the angels also want to remind you of something essential. You don't need to decide anything in a hurry. True love doesn't demand immediate answers. It gives space for reflection, for mutual recognition, for the construction of a new foundation. If she returns, and when that happens, it won't be to repeat an old cycle. It will be to start a new time. And you have every right to welcome, ponder, and only then decide. You are light. You are deserving of a love that respects you, that chooses you every day, that doesn't hide you, that doesn't hesitate. You didn't come here to be an option. You are the answer, and whoever wants to walk by your side needs to be willing to walk the path with truth, with presence, with reciprocity. The angels show me that now is the time for you to position yourself internally, not with harshness, but with wisdom. They ask you to look inside and ask, am I ready to receive this love in the way it can be now? Do I want this as I am today? Because it's not enough for the other person to be ready. You also need to be whole, at peace with what happened, and with a light heart for what may come. And that answer only you can give, but what the angels guarantee is that you will be faced with the choice. And that choice will come with clear signs, with visible movements, with the internal feeling that something important is about to happen. When it comes, you will know, and above all, you will feel. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments. I allow myself to live a love that chooses me with courage and truth. Share your experiences in the comments. If you liked this video, like and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.